Time, two rival CEOs taking to Twitter as they prepare to enter each other's markets. Just Eat takeaway CEO Jitse Groen accusing Uber CEO of depressing Just Eat's share price by announcing new plans to expand in Germany. Dara Khosrowshahi hitting back, telling Groen to focus on the business instead of short-term stock moves. Then Groen swinging back, attacking Uber's tax and labor practices. That rare public company CEO versus CEO on Twitter that we have come to love. Joining us now is the man himself, the always outspoken Just Eat takeaway CEO Jitse Groen. Jitse, good morning, and thank you so much for being with us. Now, what did Dara Khosrowshahi do exactly to try to depress Jet shares, and what were you referring to when you suggested that you've seen it before?
Well, very simply put, you know, here we are. This company is worth, what, 100 billion US dollars, and they're completely obsessed with us. They're constantly talking about us. They put us, I think in that interview, they've mentioned us about 10 times. You know, at some point, it doesn't make sense anymore. They need to start focusing on themselves and not on us. And therefore, I said, well, you know, apparently you want to do something to us if you're talking about us rather than about your own expansion. And that was the nature of my tweet. I meant no harm with it.
Okay. Labor issues also came up in that Twitter spat. I asked Dara Khosrowshahi just last week why he couldn't make a group of their drivers, employees. I actually pointed to your op-ed a few months ago, and he said a line that we have heard from Uber many times, that doing so would take away the flexibility of their drivers, and their drivers want flexibility. Is that true? You have made a group of your drivers' employees.
It's a false contradiction. Just to explain this to you, I'm the founder of takeaway.com. I founded my business 22 years ago. So also, you know, I got a little bit upset with the reply by Dara, because, you know, if you are in a business for 22 years, if you have started your business with 50 euros, you're probably not so much focused on the short-term results of your share price. I think the importance here is that takeaway.com has always employed its couriers. That's what we started to do in 2016, and that's what we have expanded. So we do that in Holland, in Germany, in Austria, in quite a number of countries across Europe. We merged with Just Eat last year. I'm still the CEO of that combination, and we started doing that also in the legacy Just Eat countries. We started doing that, for instance, in the UK. We are now looking at a collaboration with the Australian government to also do that in Australia. And we're just, you know, taking these countries one by one to see whether we can improve the conditions for the workers. And I'm talking about a false contradiction between the two, because, you know, if you ask a person, would you like flexibility? Who would say no to that, right? You get a pretty realistic result of about 90% of people that like flexibility. But why would people that like flexibility not like health insurance? That doesn't make any sense.
So to be clear, Jitse, your employees that you actually treat as full employees, they also have flexibility while being food delivery drivers.
Yeah, you know, you can have 0-hour contracts, you can have 4-hour contracts, you can have full employment. You can do all that, right? So, you know, of course, it takes more administration. It's more expensive, of course, if you have to pay taxes and social security. Mm-hmm. So it's probably the reason that other people don't do that. But, you know, the flexibility is also there.
Jitse, isn't Dara doing you a favor talking about Just Eat takeaway? I mean, I don't know about depressing your stock price. The stock seems to be doing what it does, but we're talking to you. We're thinking about food delivery in Germany, which is not something we normally talk about. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he should talk about you more often. Why is that a problem?
Well, it's not a problem. I've never said it's a problem. I was surprised that Dara sent me a tweet. And I responded to that tweet. He gave me some advice about how to run my business, and I gave him some advice back. That's the only thing that has happened. It was rather public. I admit that.